Well, hello there, it's Beards and Bangers, and today I thought I'd give you a proper look at my new daily driver. I know we did a brief video the other day of us collecting it, but it was a bit of a rush because it was getting late, had stuff to do, and had a bit of a drive back, so I didn't really get to show you around the car. So I'm going to take out a bit of a spin, give you the first impressions driving it. This is a BMW 330d Touring. It's the luxury version, and it's an F31, so it's the 2011 to 2018 model variant, this one being bang in the middle. Yeah, so I'm coming out of the 330 Ci Coupe. The reason I got rid of that, as I may have said in a previous video, is pretty low down. I'm a bit of a bulky guy, it's fair to say, and it's quite hard to get in and out of. So, plus I've got the E91, the 330. Still got that, but that's now for sale. We'll see if that gets an interest before Christmas. Obviously, getting towards Christmas, we're now in December. It's a really difficult time to be selling cars, but we'll see. I'm not asking that much money for it. So yeah, so I decided really focus on the MG Rover stuff and get a practical daily driver, German preferably, that I could use, just jump in, not have to worry about. A bit newer, lower mileage, and this ticks all the boxes. 82,700 miles, pretty clean car, new tyres, freshly refurbished alloys, decent service history. So I'm just concentrating on various roundabouts, but I've got so much power I can put my foot down with some confidence. Yeah, but what I noticed was I really liked having the automatic gearbox. First auto I've actually, seriously deliberately gone out and bought for quite some time. But I also wanted the diesel. I thought, yeah, I've driven the straight six petrol BMW in the coupe, the straight six diesel in the E91 Tourer, and the diesel is heaps of fun. They're seriously talky. I mean, this thing, we'll talk a bit more about it in a bit, but yeah, it's got some legs. But you're cruising at 50 to 60 mpg if you're not driving like a maniac, and round town you're still at around sort of 40, I believe. I haven't really got into the nuts and bolts of all that side of things yet, but I will do fairly soon. But how does it go? So I'm just literally started the car up. I'm having a bit of a drive round Aylesbury, just going to go up to the unit, have a little potter up there. Round town it's fine. It's it's not a massive car, so it's easily driven. I'm sitting down fairly low. I probably need to change the ride title. It's so comfy. I mean, it's got a lovely leather seat, really comfy. It is heated. They're all heated on these. And I've got a working heater, working air conditioning. It does blow cold. We did check it the other day, even though it's not the best time of year to be having cold air blown at your face. But yeah, we'll have a look at some of the dials in a minute. What we'll do when we get onto a bit more open road, I'll show you a really cool setting on the iDrive. I think that's what it's called, where you can see what power and torque you're putting out, which is really, I like that. I like things like that. So let's get a bit further on and then we can chat some more. So here I've decided this is a this car. Here he is in all his glory. Yeah, so F31, obviously the one that came after the E9X or the E90, E91, etc. This one's quite aggressive in its styling. We've got a bit of a special bumper going on there, haven't we? So we've got sort of got a bit of a splitter going on around the fog lights and under the number plate. We've got little eyebrows above the lights here, so it really gives it quite an aggressive front stance, or front appearance rather. The cross members are painted blue, which is a nice touch. If we open the bonnet, it's a lot neater than both the E46 and the E91. You've got an engine cover. There's not really a lot to see. Better make sure we know where our posts are for jump starting it. There's our negative, our positives up there. So we have our battery in the boot, of course. But yeah, pretty snazzy. Got the black grills. I'm going to leave those on. They work on this car. I was thinking about this. Would this look better with chrome around the grills? But I think actually on this particular car, the black looks all right. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Badges are okay. Often they can get a bit faded. If we go around to the rear, this being a later car, we've got an automatically opening boot, which is good. We've actually got a load cover, so it's the first BMW Touring I've bought where it's actually got the load cover and load guard, which is very unusual. Normally these are either broken or missing because people have taken them out. Handy boot liner, which is good. Need something like that. We've got a couple of cubbies, so got a cubby down there to keep your load cover in. I think that's what goes in there. We've got a few spare parts in a box. Then we haven't got a spare wheel. We've just got a bin down there. Must make sure we put some tyre gel in there. I suspect this is probably running on run flats. Bit of a first aid kit. Should be a first aid kit in there. Luckily I've got a spare one. 12-volt socket. Got lashing eye points. You've got another lashing eye point there, and you've got a little net there to keep your cargo in one place. But yeah, nice to have a Tourer. That's why I got a Tourer, because is there an interesting, if I missed a setting on there, not sure. We'll pull that back so it goes in the right place. But we've got a button to drop the boot as well, which is really convenient, so that all works. That's good. We have got this rather nice spoiler on the back of this, which is pretty, again, adds to the aggressive look. Got our shark fin, of course, because it's got DAB and sat nav and all that stuff. Got a shopping hatch, of course we have. That works, stays up as well. Exhaust needs a bit of a polish. It's got a tow bar, haven't tested it. That could be dangerous. Bit of a rear splitter as well, which is quite attractive. We'll jump inside. We'll do the back first, actually. So yeah, back of the car, nice leather seats, decent amount of legroom, bins in the doors as well, windows already tinted, which I like. Jumping in. Oh, bash everything as I get in. Yeah, a bit of a different setup to the E91, so that's in the normal place. Window adjuster, power folds, windows, automatic headlights. I just leave them on, to be honest. You've got your dashboard brightness there, spotlights, front and rear. What I really like, well, actually, we'll turn it on because we've got some illumination. So we haven't got the usual economy gauge, which, to be honest, they're not accurate, the economy gauges. They gear a guide because they're just running on vacuum. But this one's actually got an electronic one, so I'm guessing that is properly metered, and it's knowing exactly how much fuel you're drawing through per mile covered. What I really love is here. I'll try and thread the camera through there really carefully. Rather than a temperature gauge, you've got an oil temperature gauge, which I absolutely love. I love gauges. It harks back to my days of having Triumphs and old MGs and stuff like that. So, you know, if your oil's getting too hot, your engine's probably getting too hot. So yeah, that sort of sits around 100, which is spot on. If these do overheat, you get an overheat message on the readout here. I've got it on MPG, but you can have live MPG, average speed, date, and your range. You've got clock, tacho. That needs resetting. That annoys me when people don't reset those. I've recently filled this up, so I'm not a million miles away. Fuel gauge, yeah, and then she's still very much a BMW, and obviously this is because it's a later diesel. We've got this efficient dynamic. So if you're driving in that blue zone there, it means you're driving extremely efficiently, and we'll come on to the part of the gearbox that you kind of set to use that function. Got the iDrive, so we've got this screen in the middle. It's not a touch screen, it's just a basic screen, but that's a bit more up to date. I don't know how well you can see in this light, but you've got a lovely wood effect on the dash, or black ash, black oak, that kind of thing. It's keyless, start button there, keys in my pocket, stop start, the auto stop start. You can turn it off, and once you turned it off, you don't have to keep turning it off every time you jump in the car, which I like, because I'm not a big fan of stop start. I don't think it does flywheels and fuel economy actually that much good. We have got cup holders. Driving back the other night from with the car, there's a cover on here which is in the glove box now, so you have got two decent cup holders. You've got ashtray, cigarette lighter, or 12-volt socket there. I'm pressing the pressing the control. CD player, so it's got DAB, which we're here. We've got our fresh air vent lock, hazard warning. We've got CD player, which I like, and I've got a free busted CD as well. You have a look. There we are, free busted. That will have to get sent back to the original owner, because I'm not a busted fan, I have to be honest. So yeah, your CD and presets are here. Climate control, very handy, very good. Is that gonna blast out music at me? Hopefully not. Let's put it back on radio. Heated seats, and then all the functions. We've got our what does that do? Forget what that one does. Doesn't appear to be doing anything. Don't know. Mode is for going between CD, auxiliary, radio. Down here we've got our gear stick. So Ross said he doesn't like this gear stick. It is a bit of a pain because you've got this button that locks it. So it's like the old-fashioned, but it's because it's a haptic. I think that's the right word. If you try and put it in gear without pressing the button, it tells you. Yeah, strange thing. Across, I can't do it right now, but across you go into sport and manual, so you can drive this manual. It has got flappy paddles as well, so you can drive it like a manual. Here we've got our traction control buttons. That's traction control off. We'll get you quite close because this is quite important on these. And then you've got 3 modes on the. We'll go back to the screen. I'll show you those in a sec. Rear camera and front camera. So if I press that, I've got cameras in the front bumper, although they're a bit clouded up. We've got our parking assist down there. So going back to this button, so if I press up, we've got Sport Plus, so that's really quite raughty, stiffens the suspension up, turns traction control off. Not going to do that because the roads are greasy. Sport just gives you, the same with the traction control. Comfort is what I drive it in. It's got the power, but you haven't got the stiff suspension. And then you've got Eco Pro, which I have not used. It says charge and power. I'm guessing that's something maybe to do with the hybrids. We'll drive it in that for a bit just to see what it does, but I probably won't video it because I don't really understand it, if I'm being brutally honest. And then we've got our multifunction switch here, which shows us. We've got menu, nav, telephone, which works, media, so that's like is it CD, DVD, memory card, radio, which is DAB. This is your selector, and you've got back and option there, so you can program a lot of stuff. Storage bin, and that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Seats are really nice, very comfy. You're probably not going to see this car on YouTube much, unless there's a little job that needs doing, or it's in the background in a video, because it's not a project at all. It's for me to get up and down the country. I like to go and see Simon from Smashing Pistons. Do check that channel out, by the way. I like to go and see him. He's a good 2.5-3 hours from here, so it's nice to have a car I can just jump in and it's reliable. And a lot of the car shows I go to are sort of within 60-70 miles, so I'm happy to go those distances in those kind of cars. But when you're kind of rushing around to do videos, collecting car parts, you want something you can get in, start, not worry about it, fold the back seats down, chuck stuff in the back. That's what we want. So without further ado, we'll go for a bit of a further drive, and I'll show you this rather snazzy function with these special dials. So I'll just drive it in Eco Pro for a wee minute, just while just see what it does. Really, I won't film the dial because I can't do it safely with one hand. So to get into reverse, I've got to make sure I press that button and make sure I don't hit these bollards. Although the parking sensors do work very well on this thing, but I can go into drive. So I think that button is to prevent you going into reverse when you shouldn't. Right, so the economy gauge has gone to kind of completely blue rather than sort of having a rough MPG. So if I put my foot down, it's not too bad. And then because I'm braking, it's actually going to charge. So I'm going to have to read up on that. I will report back in a channel update or something, or a fleet update, what that actually does. I need to read up on that a bit. What happens with the power? So if I put my foot down in Eco Pro, it still goes. I mean, I'm doing 60 already, but it's just a lot tamer. But it's telling me to slow down. So it's obviously, I don't know, it's got maybe the camera up here, the sensor. These sensors in the rear view mirrors now have eyes, and they can read speed limit signs and that kind of stuff. But I'm going to change, just hang back from this car in front. I'm going to go into sport, because that's what we really want. And I can plumb my foot down, and that roars, takes off, and it's just lovely. There is a bit of a rattle underneath here, so I think there could be a heat shield bolt or two missing, because that shouldn't make that noise. It's not prop shafting, it's not rotational, it's a rattling sound. So I think that just needs a bit of attention. But I'm going to get it booked into AJF. Whenever I get a car, I get it booked into AJF, and I get them to get it up on the lift. I can't get underneath the car and look well. So the only way to do it is to get it up on the lift, and you can have a proper look, play with little suspension components, steering components. So I'll get them to have a little look at that when I drop the car off, probably next week now. So yeah, so that's really how it drives. So we'll just get a bit further on. Then when I'm in a safe place, I'm going to show you these rather cool dials. One thing I'll just add is when this car's just cruising along, it is so quiet. The climate control's on. I can hear the fan of the climate control, or the blower fan for the vents, but I can't hear the engine. I'm accelerating now, but it's so quiet. But then when you plant your foot, you are reminded you have got an engine up there, which is reassuring. I haven't bought an electric, even though I love driving the Cyberster the other day. Also reminds me how frustrating the roads are around Aylesbury now. Even on a Saturday, it's busy. And the A41 going out to Bicester used to be so, you could really fly along unless you went through a village. But now it's just so slow, because they've rerouted it for HS2. More on HS2 in another video next year, I should think, when the weather's a bit nicer. So we'll get up to Westcott, and I'll show you these rather cool dials, and that'll be it for today. So unfortunately, I managed to mute my microphone as I film this bit, so you're going to miss the roaring of the engine. But what you can see here are these two digital dials that you've got in the iDrive. So on the left, you've got your brake horsepower, and you can see it as I'm accelerating, it shoots up there, and you get a little marker. And on the right, you've got the torque. So the torque's insane in this car. I don't know what it actually comes out at. I've got it on a rolling road at some point. So the markers appear, show you what you've got, so you can glance back at them if you're concentrating on the road or whatever. And then they'll go back after a few seconds. So I'm just coming up to a barrier to get into a private estate, so I can put my foot down and be naughty through here. So just pulling out carefully. So what I do first is just kind of go not quite all the way on the floor. So kick down's not engaged, but you can see there it's like up at 280 horsepower, and the torque's off the scale. I mean, they're torquey engines as stock, but when it's got a stage 1 remap like this one has, you're 600-700 Newton meters easily on one of these. So what I'm now doing, you can't hear the roar of the engine. I'm really sorry, because it just sounded so glorious, but we'll have to bring you some more sounds at some point. So I'm slowing down, and then I just absolutely boot it, I think, from memory. So there we go. Torque goes up really quickly, and then the power just follows there. So yeah, you've got torque. Whatever you're doing, it pulls really hard. It's dangerous, this car having a tow bar, because I'm probably going to end up getting a trailer. So thank you for watching. Next video is really going to be starting the series on the Poseidon. I'm ready to go on that now. So that the Poseidon ZT, that's going to get some attention. Got to start work on the ZS as well, but there's no rush, because the cars are parked up now for the winter. I am being a bit of a tart and parking the cars up cosseted, so they're not driven on salty roads. But I'll see you again very soon on the next episode of Beards and Bangers. Don't forget, if you don't already do so, to hit subscribe and the bell notification. It's free. If you want to see these videos early, you can join as a member. I think it's $2.99 a month, and you get the odd members only video and early access to all my content. give us a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, say, oh Rob, you finally bought a decent car, or what are you doing buying that German rubbish? And share with your friends as well, it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you very soon on the next episode of Beards and Bangers. Goodbye.